Man, shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on Ed. Bitcoin looking like it's going to take a horrible dump down to 105,000. It's teetering on this key level. Every time I look for a move to the upside, we do not get it. It's looking a bit struggling. It's struggling in Dublin. Let's take a look here at what's happening to BTC. 110,250 for Bitcoin. We see a lot of liquidity to the downside here for BOOKMAP. BOOKMAP suggesting that we do go lower. $108,000 to $105,000 BTC. I don't know if the bottom is in. I'm pretty good at calling the bottom. I've been able to nail it the last few times. 109 perfectly, right? At 109.3, I nailed the bottom. The last bottom I called pretty well. And then I called the bottom before that. Remember, I got in twice, but the second one I nailed. But I basically called that bottom too. So I've hit the last two bottoms in a row. And then I called $84,000 BTC there too. Even though we did dip lower, it was a key area on the daily for a bottom as well. And then I've called the absolute bottom right down there at that $15,000, $16,000 level. Anyway, I've called many bottoms. You could call me the bottom searcher. I love to long the bottom. It's kind of what I do. I don't short as much as I long. And what we're looking for here is my pocket square because it has been fallen into the jacket. No, so what we're looking for here is some key areas of support and resistance that we're just not getting, right, for Bitcoin. So let's break down the ups and downs for BTC. Let me again show you BOOKMAP as I stare at it, thinking you're looking at it, but I forget you're not. And you can see we just have more red. This means there's just more people that went long, and the market usually punishes the majority of retail traders. So this says that everybody went long, and there's a bunch of stop losses at 109. So they all caught the bottom. They all did the win. You know what I mean? God bless James Wynn. But a lot of people are attempting to catch this bottom here to see if it can bounce back to the upside. And it may, if too many people attempt to catch that bottom, you know what's going to happen. They're going to dump that thing, and they're going to wreck everybody, and then they're going to pump it. And that's why when everyone was talking about a $200,000 Bitcoin, it just never made sense to me when I did the math. I even showed the biggest, most explosive moves ever. And it just didn't look like we were going to get there. So I did an update this morning. Bitcoin looks somewhat bullish. It was in a flag above the 200 moving average. But look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. My system, look, above the 200, dump. Above the 200 flag, dump. It's been getting treacherous. You know what I mean? Right here, ever since we didn't get the fall through on the 15-minute for my system, there was one good pump there. And it's still 3 out of 10, so it still wins if you stick with it, but it's tough. You know what I mean? It's not fun to get stopped out 3 times. So it's been tough. Price action, look, when price action hangs on the 5-minute 200 moving average, but in a slow bleed, at the end of the day, I still see a descending triangle. Right? Like, I still see what I see. Like, I can't break from this. And I still see shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. You know, like, I still see a complex head and shoulder pattern here. And I see lower highs. High, high, lower high, lower high. Like, every day we wake up, the highs are lower. That's an M pattern. It just looks like Bitcoin's going to eventually take a move to the downside. However, it looked like that here, 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 here. And it keeps teetering. It's very odd. It keeps going after the shorts. Anytime someone goes short, they rip it back up to get the stops, get the stops, get the stops, get the stops. So I haven't shorted. I've been getting stopped out on some longs, so now I've been just chilling. It's like, whoa, whoa. You know what I mean? I would only either trade the daily or the 4-hour now, and I'm waiting for some type of confirmation I'm off of my daily scalps because price action has gotten into chop. The daily scalps work great here. See, look, you're in an uptrend, things keep hitting. You can see my strategy will just play out time and time again, but once we get into some serious chop, basically everyone's strategy gets chopped up because that's what chop is. That's why we call it chop. All right? So if you've been struggling the last couple days, have no fear. That's the market. Unless you've been in a long since the top, a short since the top, and you've been just kind of babying it, even with all the volatility, which would even be tough. So it hasn't been easy to hold a long. You know, it hasn't been easy to hold a short-term trade. Both are, you know, what I'm looking at here, though, is like the weekly just didn't get back inside the pattern. Like, say whatever you want. Like, oh, extend the pattern, and now you're this side. I don't know. I just don't like doing that. To me, 1, 2, 3, 4, you get so many more touches here, it makes more sense. And that's a bearish retest. And it's still, it may be sloppy, but it could still kind of resemble here a bit of a head and shoulder pattern. It's headed somewhere back down to 91, possibly to $101,000. Some people believe that the bull market is over. There will be no alt season. that it's a wrap. Like, it's time to just pack it in like we've been had. I'm under the impression that I don't know what's going to happen. And I put in what I'm willing to lose in altcoins, and at this point, it is what it is. You know, at the time when I had it, it was more to me. I kept putting more and more into altcoins, right? 100K into Solana, other coins, right? You guys saw me. It's now got to be it's about $1 million, even right now at the value that we're at in altcoins. And so I'll either lose $1 million going for the season, or I'm going to win. You know, I just don't. I'm done playing games with the market. They tried to squeeze me out too many times. Now the money has become, not to be rude, but that's significant to me at this point, right? Like I was holding on to it years ago. At this point, like, hasn't rewarded me yet. So I'm just like, what do I care? So, I mean, I'm going to diamond hand most of it. You know, I cleaned out some things and positioned myself in what I thought was better. But for the most part, it is what it is, right? It's just been a constant battle with the altcoins. Anyway, I don't want to be depressed because there's so much opportunity out here. And I've moved on from so many other things. And there's going to be swing trades and awesome trades out here that I'm positioning myself in. So I'm excited. It's not too shabby. But right now, not loving what I'm seeing with BTC and looking like it's about to break 110,000 and take a bit of a dump further to the downside. So that's just what I'm looking at right now for Bitcoin. I could be wrong, right? I may be wrong. You never know. But right now, it just doesn't look amazing for BTC. Not to me, at least, right? So, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of what I'm seeing for Bitcoin. And Bitcoin could take a tumble, and when it takes a tumble, it's going to tumble the entire market. You know what I'm saying? Which is kind of sad, right? Because that's just kind of what it does. So anyway, let's break it down. I don't want to be too bearish. Let's be open-minded and see what the market gives us. But I just kind of make a statement right off the beginning that it doesn't look good for BTC. And, you know, I open up, usually I'm bullish, let's go, I just took profits, let's get it to the next flag. All right, you see me when I'm bullish, I'm ripping. And you see when I'm bearish, I'm just telling you the truth. So, also, look at this. This is crazy, but I see the backwards Adam and Eve, the dreaded backwards Adam and Eve that I didn't even notice recently. Well, actually, it didn't even get made till this week, so it couldn't even have been made till really the last few days. But look, that's got a measured move down to $89,000. So, I got to tell you, man, it doesn't look good for Bitcoin. We're battling 110,000 right now. There's so much volatility. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the battle right there on BOOKMAP. And every time BOOKMAP starts to shake and you can see the price action, like, that's when you know something big is happening. You'll hear the fans on your computer. My fans, right? It's like something's going on. Liquidity is moving. The fans are running on my computer, right? BOOKMAP is challenging my RAM. And I mean, you got bearish div on the weekly. And my indicator got it. This RSI's got it. Yeah, and everyone's been like, this is it. We're on the way out. After that bounce, like that bounce was just a crazy, I don't know what that was. You know what I mean? That was insanity. I honestly don't know what that was to this day. Like I've heard a lot of rumors. There's a lot of people that have hypothesized. They broke it down and said they know. Honestly, we'll never truly know what the heck that was. Seriously. That was honestly somebody doing something. That was insanity. I think I'm going to get to the bottom of it at one point in my life, but like I'm going to get to the upper echelons, invited to the meeting one day, and then someone's going to say, hey, listen. You know what I mean? Seriously, like I'm going to find out one day, but I'm going to find out like in some Illuminati meeting. I tell you what, right now, that's insanity. That's insanity. So anyway, we're not out the water yet. I think a lot of people think because this wicked up that okay, we can't go lower. You know, that's it. The worst is over. And I just, you know, and then you have a lot of big traders out there saying they called the bottom. You know, no worries. We've got this. Alt season's coming. You know what I mean? Have no stress. And I got to be honest, like you're in a rising wedge that just broke the level. Like if you were in a falling wedge that had just broke to the upside, everyone would be bullish right now. Oh, we broke trend. We're on our way up. But no one, you know, no one does it the other way. I don't understand. It's like they can't see it evenly. They got to see it one way. I have no idea what's going to happen. I've poised myself to see it either way. Who knows? You know, all I know right now is it's treachery out there and price action is insane. All right. And you just got to be careful. Like, and it's volatile. It's heavily volatile out here. Like, everything I see is I see a couple opportunities out here too that I'm willing to take advantage of. But Bitcoin's got to play ball, man. It's got to play ball. It keeps, and again, when it's about to dip, it comes back up. When it's about to pump, it goes back down. It's been tough. Let's take a look at the 5-day chart. 5-day chart is attempting to dig in for a double bottom. So like everything's attempting to say, hey, can we double bottom here? And you're like, okay, do it then, Bitcoin. You know, what it'll do is it'll sit here for 5 days, 15 days, right? Make 5 33-day candles on the line or something. So this is your last leg of defense. Bitcoin closes a 3-day candle below. It's going to come test 108. And if it breaks 108, I mean, 103 is waiting. 101 is waiting. 105, this whole area here. You can see 105 and 103 because 105 is that resistance. And this all is perfectly aligned here for Bitcoin to go down on BOOKMAP, right? So again, no guarantees. And maybe we could dig in on the daily. Can the daily candle close green today? Can we have a tweezer bottom, please? So right now, this would be the most legendary long of your life, right? If you long this and we get the bounce, stop loss below the 200, I mean, we're oversold, we're beat, but we could go lower. There's a lot of fear in the market. That's the only thing going for the longs. Like, I do like the long, the fear. Look at that, 28. My goodness. Like, 28? That's heavy fear. That's some of the most fear I've ever seen. So fear is higher than I've seen it in a while. That's when I want to start buying. You know? But maybe not just yet. Something tells me there may be a couple more liquidations here before I can get even just, and I'm not even trying to call the bottom. I'm just trying to call a swing trade area where I can swing for a couple days and get out again. Like, this is what I've learned now. I'll get in here, swing trade a couple altcoins, get out. Swing trade a couple altcoins, get out, right? You know what I'm saying? Leverage trade Bitcoin, swing trade some altcoins. Once I've had my fill and I know I'm chubby, get out. You see what I'm saying? Like, stop pushing it. That's what I did on Sunday. I made my money and I got out the market. So look, this is says we go lower here, back somewhere down to 100,972. So, dang, right? And just, that's a head and shoulder pattern right there, period. Say what you want. No, it's not. Yeah, no, you made it up. No. It is what it is, folks. All right? And that's actually steep because that is a deep, deep head and shoulder. That takes you to $94,000. Okay, so again, if you're scared of 94K, then maybe this isn't the game for you. You see what I'm saying? If you can't handle that 94K is possible, then you can't handle that 150K is possible. Anything is possible with BTC. Also, I mean, head and shoulder patterns, and I'm going to tell you right now, I've seen this over a few hundred times in my life. I'll see uptrending, beautiful rising wedge, and then it'll make a head here. It'll do this. And the right shoulder usually will be the retest. You see what I'm saying? Let me just try to draw it perfectly, but the right shoulder will be the retest, the bearish retest. You see? And this is what I'm seeing right now. I've seen this many, many times. So it's telling me that the short is the most likely scenario at the present moment in time. At least we're going to go down to test this 200 moving average on the daily, at the very least. So I see more downside for Bitcoin, you know? Trying to make the perfect call right now and say, hey, this is exactly what's going to happen, right? That's what I attempt to do. Even though I say I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, I do. I say that all the time, but I do attempt to say, hey, that's where I see it going. I mean, what I'm doing right now is going through my subconscious mind of all the things I've seen. So like, you got a falling wedge. I'm just going to go through all the bearish Let's go through all the bearish scenarios here. That's a bearish retest. It's a right shoulder, right? And Bitcoin's just hovering at this 110,200 level. They're just trying to suck in who will go long, who will go short, 100x leverage. Right now, they're just playing games with the people that are over leveraged. You can feel it. You can tell. You see? I just wait for them to clear to dust. Get a big dump. Get a big pump. If a big pump starts, they'll get above the 5. They'll start really moving above the moving averages, and I'll see it, and I'll be able to take advantage. If a big dump happens, I'll usually let it happen pretty fast, and then they usually find the reversal, and I go back at what I do with the 1 minute. It's the same story. You see me do the same thing every single day, right? I found exactly kind of how I like to trade, and I can trade any market this way, you know. And you find basically big reversals, long-term, on the 3-day chart, wait for the stochastics to get low, right? And build. When the stochastics get high, you get away from the 200, maybe two cycles on the 3-day chart. It's time, it's just, again, you'll learn this stuff over time, how to use the charts to your advantage. So bearish scenario is a bearish retest. It's a right shoulder. We have to dump to the downside, right? Every time we've seen Bitcoin do something, look at this. I mean, it was real bearish here. It had made basically a head and shoulder pattern that looked like it was going to take a huge dump, and they got all the shorts. They've been dumping it for a while. Usually they're going to push it back to the upside, right? Every time they dump it, they grab everybody. They dump it, they grab everybody. They pump it, they snatch everybody. They pump it, they snatch. They've snatched a lot of people. How many more people are left? You see what I'm saying? Look how long they've been dumping on us. So it's like I can see how they could reverse this puppy on us, and it's like they got me in this. I'm in a standstill point right now. I have to be honest. I got trader instinct in the charts, and they're both kind of like, And I'm not trading on feeling. I'm trading on how I've seen them manipulate the market. Very oversold on the daily is also a good sign for the bulls, right? So like I can go pretty bearish, and then I can also see that there's a chance, Look, there's a bounce here, there's a bounce there. This is strong support. 109,000 has been like a bold area. Like we break that, it's going to be it's like, wow. It's like kind of saying that you could go to 94K. It's the beginning of the lower levels. Because 109 is 105, and 105 is 103, and 103 is a 99, right? And then, who knows? You stay above 109, and then it's like, okay, 112, 115, 117, and then 117 is 120, right? And then you're back to the all-time high. So 109 is it's almost like the battleground of life. It it's like the most important area Bitcoin's ever had right now. And you can see it. Look at it. Look at this level. Almost got their resistance. That's when the first bit of liquidity said no. And we tapped it a few more times, and no. The big move above it, only to come back and test it 2 more times. The huge move away to come back and test it again. Something about this area, right? Something about Mary. There's something about this area. Something about Bitcoin. And it does resemble a cup with a handle. Isn't that crazy? The Sammy Cup and Handy here to the upside. All the way to the upside on the Sammy Cup and Handy. Steph Curry all the way from downtown. Tom Brady back to pass. 4th down. Wide receiver makes the cross. Oh my God, tipped by the quarterback, but he still got it in the end zone for the touchdown. Unbelievable. I couldn't believe how he grabbed that one-handed and pulled it right in. I think he even jumped up. Oh, he's in the stands eating a hot dog. That's insane. I've never seen somebody do that. He's wiping mustard off of his jersey. I mean, how did he get the hot dog through the helmet there? Unbelievable. So, could we get this cup and handle to the upside? We're looking to see if it can get a move. Interesting. 8 hours fighting. It's a double bottom right now as far as I'm concerned. I'm tempted to long. Look how many 4-hour candles. That's insanity. What is this? Like, what is this? Like, Bitcoin, what are you doing? It's funny, they don't realize the science will eventually capture the manipulation, no matter how much they push and pull. So look, I was so bearish for so long, right? When I looked at it all, I was like, oh, I'm bearish. And now there's just like, there's this hope, this glimmer of hope. And like yesterday, it was okay, shoulder, head, right shoulder, and then just like, what stopped you from dumping the price? Like, they just couldn't break this area. Too many people bought in and loaded up. There was a battle here for sure. And that's why it's tough for us to trade right now, because before we kind of, you break above this, you clear, it's like it's a buyer's market. And we kind of get, same thing here. This was a great time to trade. Remember this 2 weeks? I was unstoppable. We didn't then, remember? I don't even remember. So we called this bottom. And I called this bottom. Now here we are, and I hit a couple longs. Here we are. It's crazy. Man, we had everything going, man. We just needed that pump. I still can't believe that 15-minute did not pump the way it was supposed to. It's like, man. So we're in a falling wedge. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 hour says no way, though. Look at the 1 hour. 1 hour looks so bearish, it's horrible. It says, how do we get out of this? MACD has lack of bearish momentum. RSI is curving down. And the stochastics have bearish div on them and are pointing to the downside. You see that? Everybody see that? Is that just me? That looks so bearish on the stochastics RSI. If you want to see one indicator by itself, double click on it. I just double click on it and the indicator comes right up. Really nice and simple. So we have a resistance here too at 111,779. Oh man. 112K becomes resistance for BTC. Look at this chop. Look at it. Look at that. Look at that. That is just how do you trade that? You got to be in and out. I made some good trades, but it's been choppy. It was so much funner to trade. This was everything was smooth, and we got that continuation, and then it was going to be one of these. I was expecting just like one of these where everything goes well and my trades hit. And then we got stumped by 115,000, 116K there. And then since then, we've been bleeding just nasty. They've just been chewing up anybody who's trading too heavily. If you're going too hard on your leverage, they're going to eat you alive. All right. I know that because I watch it daily. I can see when it's nice to strike and when the waters are very, 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 very dirty. And see, the more you get into it, the more it has that descending triangle vibe too. So I've got mixed signals. It's not one of those days where I can call it like when we've been trading recently, and it's been iffy. Resistance clearly at 111,006. Look at that. Just can't get above. And that has some head, right shoulder vibes. The whole thing has head and shoulder vibes. Shoulder, head, you know what I mean? It's bearish to me. It kind of really is a descending triangle more. The smaller the time frame, the more descending it looks. You see? The 15-minute, it's I'm going to dump on your face. The only thing we have going is it's a possible Adam and Eve. You see it? It's rounding this bottom. For whatever reason, we just love this liquidity zone. They can't seem to break through it. The bears can't seem to get through. Once they do, I'll tell you what, the more times you hit, the weaker it gets. You hit it a couple more times. So right now, here's the deal. We can remain indecisive, but there's no reason to. I just cleared my head and said, Sam, not to remain indecisive. To remain bearish. Low, low, low. A lower low and a lower high is coming. I assume. So basically, when you become a trend trader, you just believe the trend is real no matter what. You lie to yourself. No matter what you think is going to happen, you lie to yourself that the trend is real. You're this is what's going to happen to the trend. You see what I'm saying? And you're this is it. So right here, you look at this and you're there's a lower low coming. That's it. Now, I don't short the market in these situations because I know, maybe if they come down here and they make a bear flag, maybe I'll take the bear flag. Maybe. But I haven't had as much luck shorting the market as I have longing. So it's been way funner. And even on days when we've dumped, I've been able to long the market for whatever reason, right? So I've been having I found this system the last 2 years and perfected it better, and it just makes way more money than shorting. So I don't short the market. I really look for long reversals. That's kind of what I do. And you've been watching me do it for a while here. So I got really good at one thing, I've learned. If I shorted a long, I'd probably be good at them both eventually, kind of. But I wouldn't be as like, now I'm like fine-tuned at this one thing. And it's like, I love it so much. I'm like addicted. It's almost kind of like, it's good and bad because I used to short and long a lot more. But now that I have this strategy, I'm addicted to it. Because it prints more than anything else. So I'm like, why should I do anything different than what I love to do? You know what I mean? And I'm like obsessed with it. Good or bad. So a mix between, can we break out? Are they going to dump us? Right? And right now I have to say, you know what? You got to remain bearish unless we can get above this key resistance. So, you know, if we broke out above here and we made some type of flag and we retested and maybe we hit a 200 moving average on what maybe it would be the 15. Yeah. So if like the 15 minute breaks above the 200. So this is what I learned. I love my strategy. It works great. When my strategy slows down on the small time frames, it means they're chopping us around. And the more they chop us, the more I have to zoom out if I don't want to be in the chop, right? So right now, yeah, I might miss a beautiful scalp to the upside here, right? But I'm done like attempting to scalp every 5 seconds because they've been chopping it. But there's a chance we can get above the 15-minute 200, just like we kind of did here, you know? And then there's a little scalp there that gave me some action. Now, then we went for this one, right? But that's okay. Here's the deal. If we get back above the 15-minute 200 moving average, I would long the market. You see what I'm saying? I would take a long. But only then would I take a long. You see what I'm saying? We got to get back above the 15-minute 200 moving average. We get above that, I take a long. You see what I'm saying? Now you'll miss a lot of this, and that's okay. If you have FOMO and you can't handle your emotions, then this might get to you, and you might force yourself in and out of trades, and you know. And again, it looks like we're going to pump up pretty nicely right now. They induced a lot of fear. Whenever there's a lot of fear, remember, when there's a lot of greed, we usually go up. When there's a lot go down. When there's a lot of fear, we usually go up. Just keep reminding yourself about the fear. We got this kind of Adam and Eve still, so for whatever reason, the bears could not break this key level, 109.5. 109.6, they tapped into it but could not break through. And again, remember, BOOKMAP is not 100%. Just because it's there doesn't mean it's happening for sure. It's not like, oh yes, it's going to happen, guaranteed going to happen. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. One step at a time. It's a sketchy time. I'll tell you that. That usually is a good time to long. This is what I add to my BTC stash long term. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of my strategy. It's a pretty boring strategy. But I buy Bitcoin when the fear is under 30. I mean, that's a beautiful time to buy BTC. So it is what it is. And that's a boring, but it's a very simple way to do things. And usually every 4 years, I look back on those buys and I'm like, wow, great time. You know, great move, Sam. So it hasn't failed me in the last 4 years, every 4 years. So I continue to do it. As crazy as it may seem to a lot of other people. At the same time, this is a descending triangle. So that's why to me, I'm not longing anything unless it breaks above here, gets above the 15-minute 200 moving average, and makes some type of flag. If that happens, then I'll think about taking a long. Maybe long on the daily. Did the daily flip green yet? The daily flipped green again. You know, chance to possibly front run the daily green. There's a chance here that's the stop loss below the 200 moving average. I do like trading near the 200. Every time I've made trades near the 200, it's paid off. Like here would have been, these didn't even get as close. This one's pretty close. So what I've learned is whenever there's heavy fear, whenever people are bugging out, the 200 is usually pretty close. Now it's risky because it could easily go the other way, 100%. You know what I mean? 100% it could go the other way. And we know that. So you just have to kind of trade accordingly to that. And I'm not I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what you're doing, and I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice at all. Just going over the ideas and the thought process, right? The philosophies of a trader. Like when you're thinking and you're going over the ideas, like they're just, near the 200 is always the lower, like right there. If you got in there near the 200 moving average on the daily, that was a supreme, you know what I mean? Those are going to be the, like very, what I call the discount. You know, you pay premium when you're very far away from the 200. So could this be the move for Bitcoin? Backup level 111,000. Wow, that was a pretty big move. They dumped it and pumped the thing. Wow. I bet so many people just got wrecked right now. That's why I've been just kind of staying low key. Market has been very, very insane. Actually, it's not even that insane. I'm just a small time frame trader. And so if you're a small time frame trader, it had been a bit more predictable the last few days, and then now it's been like you can see them just like wrecking shop on people. So that's what's kind of funny, I guess. You know, that's the one thing that I'm seeing. It's just tough. It's tough out here. Remember, if you can't handle position size, like if I couldn't handle position size when I was a beginning trader trading leverage, I would get in and out of the trade all the time. I'd get in, get right out, get in, get right out. Why? Because I couldn't handle the position size I was in. When you can't handle position size, your emotions take control. You do really stupid things with the account. If you find yourself doing a lot of dumb things with the account, sad to say is it means you're not ready for the position size in which you're trading. That's it. That's it. You know, that's the magic. Oh my God. That's the magic moment. That's what nobody's telling you. It's quite freeing because all you have to do, right, or all a trader would have to do, all I had to do back then is shrink my position size. Okay? Risk less, gain more over time. You know, you can read Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Any trader that's been in the game will tell you this too. They'll tell you this. You know what I've learned too is I'll step up. I'll step up. I'll step up. Basically, I'll take a risk. You know what I'm saying? And like, or for instance, like I'll trade my system. Like the 1 minute gets above the 200 moving average, right? Right now, like, right? Like, and yeah, I might get stopped out here, stopped out there, but one day I take the trade. And other days I just, it plays out nicely. You see a lot, like it was like a couple days ago on the stream, we bounced off the 200 and we all made gain. It was like amazing, right? It was like, Sam, you're the best, right? So we get this move here to the upside on the 1 minute time frame. And you look at it and you're like, wow, 21 touched, everything plays out, right? Boom. And some days that becomes the bigger trade, like 1 out of 10 or 1 out of 20. The whole point is when I do the right thing over and over again, eventually I end up hitting like the big one. And I'm like, oh, I called the bottom again. And this is another interesting thing, all right, about me as the crypto lifer, right? I'm a dynamic individual online. And again, here he is talking about himself. But, or just a person, forget about me, a person that goes live every day. Because people will say, oh, he hits all the time, but that's just because he's live every day. And it's like, well, that's why he hits every time though. You see what I mean? Like people will blame you for your consistency, but then they won't be able to say anything when you're that consistent too. So I just want to teach you something about consistency. It creates definitely envy, and people will be jealous of you. They will be, because they won't be jealous of your money. They won't be jealous of your looks. They'll be jealous of your consistency. They'll say, dang, I would do anything to be as consistent as that man. And I know if I was as consistent as him, everything in my life would fall into place. But I just have a hard time staying in the same place all the time. I'm here, I'm there, I'm over there. I drink a beer over here. I do some this over there. You know what I mean? I'm all over the place. I argue with my wife, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't argue with my wife. I'm being honest with you. We don't argue. Very rare. We might have 1 or 2 arguments a year now at this point. Like, it's like, and I don't even know what I call it an argument. Like, she's just, you know, honestly, I need her to be clear-headed for the business. She needs me to be clear-headed for the business. We run a company together. So that's actually really a beautiful thing. Some people say it would stress the relationship, but we're both winners and survivors. So we both want to win and survive. So it stresses not, it actually makes it stronger. Now, if you have someone that's not in your corner and plays games with you, you know, which I think a lot of men do, and a lot of women do too. I hear stories. I can't believe the individuals that people are with. Detrimental to their health, detrimental emotionally. Anyway, let's move on. But so here's the deal. I'm not trading this right now, but I'm watching it. If Bitcoin breaks out, this is how it breaks out. See, what I did is I watched, it's boring, right? But I watched every reversal in history. Not in history, I shouldn't say that, but all the main ones. You know what I'm saying? From Ford Motor Company to Walmart, hell, to Arm & Hammer, you name it. Like, if it had a stock, I looked at it, and I watched it over and over again, and I looked at all the way we had it, of any type of bullish momentum. It always started with some type of flag, consolidate, because think about it. This is representing people bought, they bought up, then they sold a little bit, then people think, oh, this is a good price. And if more people think this is a good price, then less people want to sell, we'll consolidate. And then if we consolidate, more people will look like it even nicer. Then the traders will come in, then the bots will come in. So basically you have the minds of men, and then you have the emotions. Once they're flaunted onto the patterns, then, the mathematical traders jump on. And so all you need is the emotions to create the pattern that injects the induction of attention from bots and people like me. So you see how it moves? It's kind of a beautiful story, right? And so that's why what I show you plays out over time, because this is why the same thing happens day in and day out. If you go to every other reversal over time, and again, the 200 moving average is like a cloak, or maybe, I can't explain it, what it is. It's kind of like the path. If there was one pathway in and one pathway out, and you went down to Bear Road, there would be one pathway out to Bull Road, and you'd have to pass through the wall, the golden wall, right? And if you can't get through the golden wall, then you can't go to go. You can, you know what I mean? This is like pass go in Monopoly. Like, if you can't pass go, you can't collect $200. So for Bitcoin to pump again, for us to see 112, 110, 120K, we're going to have to cross this yellow line. It's going to have to happen. You see? Now you could say, well, how do you know every time? Well, you don't. Sometimes it's like this time, a little bit of a pump, but it worked out. If you would move your stop into break even quickly and we're sniping. And again, today is Thursday, right? Not my favorite day to trade. Specifically after massive liquidations on the week, you know what I mean? Last Friday, like, we're still not suffering. I don't want to say suffering, but the market's still trying to find its way. It's like getting hit by a hurricane. There's a lot of accounts that aren't here that used to be here. It's going to take a while for those people to come back. They're going to have to get paychecks. They're going to have to, decide whether they want to get into crypto again. And some people, whether it's a joke or not, you see a lot of it. But some people posted to Twitter, they lost everything and they're gone. They're out. They can't be, they every single, and again, a lot of people were building positions. Those positions have been open for a year or something. They never thought the prices would go as low as they did. And there is all this compensation price stuff going on, and I should know more about it. But I didn't get liquidated. Nothing happened to me, so I'm not trying to figure out how to get compensated. You know what I mean? I didn't do anything stupid. So remember what I said today? I said I would not long unless Bitcoin breaks back above this resistance here at 111,680. As long as Bitcoin stays below that, we have to remind ourselves that the descending triangle, and even though we have the head and shoulder, all that is, we still have to remind ourselves that we are in bearish territory. So I got to give out, unless we break back above 11,600, 660, I'm a bear right now. I got to be honest. I'm a bear. And, that's what the charts are telling me. And I know how we could break out, and I'm looking for it. And I'll always keep the open mind, and I'll always keep the ear open for the bulls. Like, okay, come on over here, bull. But I know the truth of the pattern right now. So there's the deal. Like, to me, everything else is treachery. Even if you trade my old system on the 1 minute, my system on the 1 minute here, it's a bit treachery. But let's see, right now we're kind of in limbo. They're going to see if enough people are short, they're going to pump. If enough people go long, they're going to dump. They're just waiting to see who's entering this market. I am not going to give them that satisfaction. You see? I'm going to wait for them to clear out who they want first, and then I will figure out what to do. And even on a Thursday, I know that the volume is light, so we must be careful. And BOOKMAP, which isn't 100%, but it's probably about 90% accurate, is telling me that we're going lower to $107.5 and possibly to $105,000 BTC. Those are people's liquidations that they think are disappeared on the market. I can see people's liquidations on the market, right? So there we have it. I have this drawn in case. This is the best case scenario for Bitcoin. This is the bulls are back in town. But, this is kind of what has to happen for us to continue to go up. We have to bounce pretty much around this level and start to make a move. Again, back to the 30-second chart, back to the 5-second chart, both below the 200 moving average. You can see, look, the system worked there on the 5-second again. You made a flag above the 200 moving average. See, you get above the 200, you hit the 5, and boom. It's amazing. You can see it play out. There's almost a little bit of an Adam and Eve in there too. 5-second Adam and Eve. But look at that. Elongated cup and handle, you could call. Amazing. So beautiful move. And then, you kind of top out there. Just kind of showing you the micro worlds of trading. There's so much going on, and that's the world, right? If you zoomed into an atom, you would see it smaller and smaller and smaller. And if you zoomed out, when I thought about it one day, I called it the law of infinity, and someone maybe came up with this, but I was like 15 or 16. I was on, unmentionable, but whatever, I was out there. And I was, I think I was by myself in the woods or something. And I was like, wow, you have me, then you have a smaller animal, small, all the way down to like the ant, right? And you have this little ant. Worst ant you've ever seen, right? But you have me to this ant. And then there's like something smaller than an ant. Like there's those tiny, you ever seen tiny ants? Ants that are like so small you can't even see? And then there's probably tiny, and then there's microscopic bugs. And then like, when does that stop? Does it ever end? It goes into infinity. There's a time where it just ends. It hits an amoeba, then it hits a cell, and then it hits the nucleus, and then the electron around, right? We know we have the nucleus with the proton and the electron, right? And then the electron, they say, is moving around. And then if you go big, you're like, okay, is our globe basically an electron? Like, is our solar system basically just a tiny electron on the eyelid of a giant or something? You know what I mean? I'm just like, and when does that end, right? And I called this the law of infinity. Because in my mind, like, basically you're infinitely small compared to beings above you, and you're infinitely large compared to all the beings below you. But you're always in the middle. And no matter how big you are, you still feel like it could be infinitely larger and infinitely smaller. And it doesn't matter where you are in the cycle. Like if you're an ant, I'm infinitely larger than you to the point of no return. You know what I mean? But then there's microscopic things infinitely smaller than you. So you feel just like me, even though I think I'm way bigger than you. And this is the same thing as time and space too. It's crazy, right? In a billion years, all right, which, a fly's life, which may be only like a few days, and your life, which is like 1,000 days, are still basically the same little tiny blop, right? They don't really matter. They're almost identical in the time of the unit. You know what I mean? And it's kind of scary to think that your life is the same as a fly's life, right? And I'm sorry to scare you. And I think some people might be like, oh my God, I might hyperventilate here when I put the realizations of what's happening in space and time. And you're like, what is this? This is a trading channel. What is this man doing? But trading has everything to do with the meta and the outside world through your mind. And when you realize that you're in control of reality, you're in control of your trades, you're in control of how you set your trades up, you take more control, less emotions. The point of all this is your life is fast and fleeting. And all the opportunities that you believe you have, they're here, but they're not going to always be here. And don't take advantage of your time. You can get back money that you lose, but you can never get back the minutes that you waste. A wasted minute is a wasted minute. It's gone forever. Successful people that have made something of themselves, people that have made everyone's here for wealth. Everybody on this channel is here for wealth. People enter crypto. Some people want to learn. Yes, they want to learn how to trade, but you want to learn how to trade so you can probably leave your job or just make, you want to learn. You want to have an education so you can gain an edge. That's why you're here. Everybody is here for that. We know that. 100%. You're here for value. And the point of this, and again, I achieved some things that many, many people don't, right? I was able to leave my job. I was able to get out of the 9 to 5. I'm here every single day now doing what I love to do on this channel because I push myself to do something different with my life, right? And I want you're here too. A lot of people are here to push themselves to do something different. Financial reasons come as connected to it, but the most part is I want to change my life, right? Everybody here says, I want to change my life. I'd like to do something different with my life. So And the point is, the efficient people, the people that are very successful, they look at their time. Say, how am I using my time? Basically, I sleep 7 to 8 hours. I usually sleep from let's say 12 to 7. Lately, last few nights, I've been going to bed early for the first time in a long time. I've gone to bed at 11 at night, which I usually don't. I've been really getting a lot of rest and taking it, I don't know if I'm getting older, but just the last 2 nights, I said, man, I'm just going to go to bed early and rest my mind. Like I'm getting ready for something. And the point is, you think about your life and it's fleeting. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And before you know it, it's gone. And so you want to make sure you're making the best of every moment that you have. That's all. And I like to study successful people because they seem to be living a very awesome life. And I want to know what they're doing. And what they're doing is they're basically creating space and time. And their time isn't very valuable to them. They're not wasting time hanging out at the bar. They're not wasting time doing mindless tasks with people that, they're building with people. Either they're helping someone or they're doing something or they're with their family. You know what I mean? Scheduling time with their kids, scheduling time for your health, scheduling time for your wealth. A lot of people put more time into their job than they do to their own personal growth. But you're on your own journey, right? I never let my schooling interfere with my education. I never let my job interfere with my personal growth. I had a job always, but I was always on a mission to do something different with my life. I knew in the back of my mind, if I had my job was my total thing, then my job would be my total thing. And there was a long time. I was a worker bee for a long time, everybody. Up until I was 36 years old. Maybe 35 even. My last job, I was still, I was running my channel and I was working remote. And then finally my channel took off. Things were going well for me and I told them, hey, I'm done. I made the perfect transition. I left my job, then I took a remote job. Then I took a different type of position in the same kind of industry. And it kept me afloat. It was just enough to keep me afloat. And then I worked my butt off. And next thing you know, I was able to transition from my YouTube channel. And when I started my YouTube channel, everyone, I edited every single video. I was also a known editor. I set up my entire studio. I put every single wire together. I put all the lighting. I did all the camera work. I did all the lensing. And I still do all of that, And it was, so not only was it trading, but it was building the studio. It was getting the know-how, having the audio-visual presence, understanding what I was doing, and going at it full force, 110%, right? And everyone wonders, well, how do you get somewhere in life? It's so much bigger than just trading. Amen, right? So we're looking for this falling wedge to break to the upside as I kind of got you through this talk about space and time. But it's important to focus on because a lot of people aren't curating your mind. They're just throwing trading stuff at you all the time. And to me, you got to have the mind for trading or you're going to get wrecked. And you got to find discipline in your life. And what the problem with this is beginners and people that want to trade, if I say anything again, that's not technical analysis, they'll tune out. They'll say, oh, this is what I want to hear. I want to have the next coin and the next. But what they don't realize is working on the mind is the most important thing that we can all be doing. All right. I'm looking to see my subconscious mind just drew this and looked for this falling wedge to break out. I can't even explain it. I just did what I did. You see what I mean? Next thing you know, I was just drawing the lines. But that is the cup and handle, you see? If we can dig out, this is how we can dig out. Bitcoin has been treacherous, but look at all this liquidity down there. What a fight here at 110,000 for BTC. And again, I'm making no trades unless we get back above that key level there, 111,600. Get back above the 15-minute 200 moving average. If we can't do those things, I have to remain bearish, even though I'm looking for it. This could be the exact bottom, but I need that would give me a little more confirmation to jump on in. Otherwise, I can't, it's hard to tell exactly what they're going to be doing. Right now, we're going to watch this, 1 minute falling wedge and see what can happen. Well, even look at that rolling over on the 21. So remember, right now I remain bearish unless we get back above 11,600. So to me, and then bearish means that this could fall all the way out of the measured move, which takes us somewhere down to 105,800, which coincides exactly with the levels that we're getting here on BOOKMAP. So we'll see. As you can see, it's a pretty, sideways day back and forth for BTC. Not a perfect, we're not getting perfect probabilities. They're somewhat slanted. I have a pretty good, I know exactly what to do if we get it. I can see kind of what's happening. And I know that we must stay bearish now, so. Okay, just want to make sure I'm live. I'm getting, hold on one second here. I believe I'm live, but I can't see the chat for some reason. Am I live, Sean? Am I live? Am I live? Hello? Hello? Let me just test to see if my wife watches the live stream. Am I live? Or have I been doing this alone? What? Am I live? Am I live right now? I can't see the chat. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, for some reason, look, I can't see the chat. It's giving me an error. So I can't interact with the chat today. I can't tell what's happening. I have no idea why. An error. I'm getting an error on the chat. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I couldn't tell what was going on. All right, so, I keep looking at GIGGLE, man. And I want to make a big swing trade on it. To me, I feel like it's the most bullish thing out right now. With BNB catching fire, this being oversold, slight higher low. Just GIGGLE tells me it could giggle up and do some damage. All right. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you, Lukochi. Thank you, Sean. Bang, bang, bang. All right, shout out to the 1,489 beautiful souls here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Yeah, so GIGGLE just looks hot to me. But again, with Bitcoin lingering, it's a really, it's a very, my mind tells me it's the fear, Sam. Use the fear. Buy into the fear. But I have bought into the fear recently a few times. Like I loaded up on SEI, I loaded up on some SWE, I loaded up on Sol. And it only worked out for so long, for whatever reason. And then we kind of came right back down into the same key areas. So I don't understand why or how, Bang. And I'm going to do what I can to try to get that chat back, but I don't know why. I could probably just watch the live stream on my own and see the chat that way, right? Anyway, no worries. I just want to be able to say hi and look at the super chats and stuff right now. I'll figure it out. If I go to my own channel and look at the stream the regular way, I believe I can just see the chat, right? Anyway, no worries. I just want to be able to say hi. There we go. All right, I can see the chat, the regular chat. Here, let me pop it out. All right, there we go. I didn't realize I can grab it from the stream too. All right, so I got it. Sean, can you pin that? I can't seem to pin that today for whatever reason. Technical difficulties in the chat. Maybe it's already pinned. I don't know. Love you, Sam. BTC hanging above the 200 EMA on the daily. Yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, the same thing. It's hovering above the 200 moving average on the daily too as well, which is it can be a discount area. It's a good time. For me, it's either the beginning time to begin to DCA into a real nasty downtrend, or you're buying the discount. Those are two things that I know pretty much to be true, right? Looking for this higher low to bounce for BTC. It is a Sammy cup and handy. This is what we used to do all the time. But I learned it was treachery here. You sometimes got it, you sometimes didn't. I learned it was a higher probability to wait to get above the 200, so I started waiting for that, and then it was even better to wait for the 21. It took more patience. This, I always wanted to do it without, and it took me a lot of emotions to wait for my signal. I used to want to just, I called the bottom every time. I got this, You can see price action slowing down right now. It's getting very, very slow. It's getting tight for whatever reason. Sean, thank you so much. It looks like you pinned that comment. May God bless you, Sean. And shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. We appreciate you, and we thank you so much for being here and being a part of the live stream. Okay, so can we get the bounce for BTC? Only time will tell. It's been a very, back and forth type of morning for sure. And, we'll see. And this is just what trading is. It's never a guarantee. It's always a probability. You're trading against probabilities. That's what you're doing. Coiling up. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house. Shout out to everybody here hanging out. Okay, so next thing I want to look at is other opportunities in the market. And to me, there always is an opportunity in the market. I show you the first thing that I'm looking at. I kind of revealed already there. On funny, Zcash, you know what I mean? Just a little pullback, but that thing's been hot recently. AB back in the radar, which is interesting. Tron, the new movie's coming out. Ares, right? Which is going to be pretty hot. I actually just recently watched Tron again 2 nights ago with my daughter. It's PG-13, And actually, of all the movies out there, it was pretty, just kind of based on principles. The bad guys, the good guys. She was like, who's the orange guys? But we had a good time. We watched Tron. My man is long. It's the right move. This is a good bottom. Shout out to Crypto Face, man, in the game. God bless you, man. So Face is out here with the $50 chat easy. Saying that we long, baby, long. Saying that this is the bottom. I don't know, man. I have to be honest. I can't. My system's telling me to wait to get above 11,600. You could chuck along on the daily candle here. Like, you could chuck along at this daily candle with a stop right there. I see no reason why not. I think it's a pretty good low risk. It's because it's low risk to high reward. So it's a great place to long. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fear in the market, but I go by, I have no idea. Shout out to Face in the game, though. God bless you, man. And I hope you have a huge long open, and I hope it rips to the upside. Support all my brothers in the game that battle the charts on a daily basis like I do. It's not easy, live all the time. With the crypto industry on our backs, man, when no one else will show up. When the whole market gets bearish, when everyone gets scared, when they're all liquidated and monkey and pencil necked out. Who shows up? Crypto Face, Crypto Lifer. You know what I mean? Like the superheroes of the industry, man. Never giving up, never stopping, pushing forward every single day. Him and his brother, man, powerhouses in the game. And God bless everybody out there that helps cryptocurrency. All the streamers, man, that never give up no matter what. Blessings to all you people, bro. Funny. Nice to see you. Shout out to everybody out there. Trump and China about to make a deal and rip the market, Sam. Yeah, you could. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. Right? Let's see if we can get, look, a shoulder, head, right shoulder there and a pump to the upside. So you know what I'll do? Okay, look. Let me open it up. All right, here. I chucked the long in on weeks. I chucked the long in here. Stop loss below the 200 moving average. It's not a huge long though. Right? It's a smaller trade for sure. But we'll see, it could make you $5,000 if we get back to the upside, or I'll lose 1,000, something like that. It's 5-to-1 risk reward ratio. So we'll see. I don't have a lot of faith in it though, and to me, my system says it's high risk. There's better risk trade above 11.6. So we'll see. All right, we'll see. And so I'm being very low risk there. All right, and if we get the reversal, we get the reversal. I'll be able to post the game back. I called the bottom again. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We have this cup and handle with the higher low. We're attempting to dig in here on the 1-minute time frame. All right. Did anyone notice that the flush earlier was Eve and Adam, not Adam and Eve? It does that sometimes, yes. To me, they're the same, though, because I've seen them back and forth now over time. You'll see them vice versa, vice. You know what I mean? Hype in the chat, baby. Good people tend to find other good people and stick together. I love that. Shout out to Lindsay Lins. Did anyone notice that? Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Crypto Pilly. Orhan Sam said that he's seen them reversed many times. It's normal. Yeah, 100%. So you're looking for that right shoulder now, right? That's what we're expecting to dig on out of here. Who knows, though? It's tough. Let's take a look at the total market cap. And look, I'm looking at all the BNB memes here. I have a whole list of them all. Oh, look at GIGGLE went down back to 118. See? I like this consolidation, but man, you know what? I'd rather wait. If by Sunday on the 19th, it's still at 125, 126, then to me, it's a buy. Just really got to wait patiently, man. Who would long this piece of you? Funny, man. Best community in the game. Yo, Lifer. Sammy knows. So crazy for longing, somebody says. Yeah, you know, but to me, I'm not that crazy because whenever we've been near the 200 moving average on the daily, like right there, that was a perfect long. See? It's a very similar area, and everyone was real bearish there. And it looked horrible. And it was just like, and nobody believed we were going to pump at all, to be honest. Similar area right here. You got the wicks near the 200. This one here too, everyone was bearish. It's a very similar, it's like a half a right shoulder. Like they're about to make the right shoulder. It looked horrible. You know, and they ripped that butt beat. This one was a good one too. Whenever you get kind of close to the 200. Here you got above it, and that's a rip ski. Here you know, you had the nasty dump. But you didn't dump. Everyone was real bearish here. I don't know if you remember these times. This is 24,000, and we got rejected by 30K. Everyone said, "Oh, that was it. This is a dead cat bounce. We're gonna go to 12,000." And that was the perfect entry yet again near that 200. So I'm like, I just play odds, man. I'm not trying to be a genius here, and I'm not even trying to be that risky. Everyone's like, "Oh man, he long the bottom. What a legend." Oh. No, I'm just like playing odds, right? I'm just like a nerd that knows the odds better than most people. So because I know the odds better than most people, people think I'm a legend. Isn't it weird? I'm just a math nerd. I'm just a nerd, man. All right? I'm just a math nerd that knows the probability really well, and it makes me look good. But again, who knows? And again, I risked a very small amount. This was a tiny trade for me. It's like 1/10 of my usual size. So let that be a lesson to you, right? Look at this. You got a right shoulder here now. Like it's like you gotta dig in, baby. Remember, I'm overly bearish unless we get above 11.6. They keep hitting the same areas. Yeah. Exactly. How many days without a day off, Lifer? I don't know, 1,890. I don't even know. I haven't stopped since February of 2021, man. Yeah. That's it, man. We just keep pushing. And somehow through Singapore, through Qatar airports, through layovers, I somehow never missed a stream. But you know what I learned, man? Nobody cares. Nobody gives a dang. You know why? Because if I was here once a week and I delivered the goods, and if I was here 6 days a week and I delivered the goods, that's all that mattered. People just want the gains, baby. They want the knowledge. They don't care how many times you've been live. They don't care how many suits you've worn. They don't care how many Rolexes you bought. They just want the gains, man. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, you know, if you're a rock star and you've sold a bunch of albums. I'm not saying I am a rock star, but if you were a rock star like you, like Crypto Faces, and you sold a bunch of albums and around the world, you know, but you came on stage and did nothing one day, like they would boo the heck out of you. Like it doesn't matter how much you've done. It matters what you're doing, right? Like you got to come and rock it when you hit that stage. They expect to see you just like you're the best, right? So you got to show up or put up. And so I've learned nobody cares about the streak. I mean, some people love it. They can say, look at Crypto Lifer. But nobody cares about it if you don't show up every day. You know, it doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. 100K means nothing. The plaque means nothing. Like, don't get me wrong. I love it. It's like, wow. And I dedicated my life, and it means everything. But it means nothing if you can't keep pushing, is what I've learned. And I just want people to understand that. Like, you're nobody till somebody, I don't want to say, oh my gosh, right? That line, I don't know how that came into my mind, but because I don't want to be that guy. But the idea is, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you got to keep showing up. Yesterday's news, yesterday's money doesn't pay today's bills, baby. Sometimes it does if you made enough. But you know what I'm saying, man. You got to keep pushing. Like, this right shoulder's got to hit. We got to get this right shoulder to hit, right? That's what we got to see. Okay. Been here for years. I care. And I'm not, again, your current trajectory is more important than your current results, baby. Lifers seeing it now. Yeah, and again, success is being in the moment. It's not something you can ever possess. It's something you become. You attract success by becoming the person you desire to be. Success is something you attract by becoming the person you desire to be. How do you become that person? By showing up every day, right? Writing, people are you are your thoughts, and your thoughts are your actions. If every day you wake up and say, I'm grateful for what I have, I'm going to put my best foot forward, I'm going to do everything I can to push my business, to push myself, to push my family, and push my friends to the upside. And at the end of the day, I'm going to say thank you to God. At the beginning of the day, I'm going to say thank you to God. I'm going to be grateful for every single moment and, every single minute, every single breath that I take. And you build from there. Oh my gosh, man, your life can only go to the upside. Yesterday, we went over SEI ecosystem. DRG looked like it's the best swap for me. If SEI moves, it might be a good play. Makes me think of Pancake, Swap. Interesting. DRG, thank you for saying that. Take a look at that and see what happened there. So everything's going to struggle if Bitcoin struggles. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. And price action's been look at this. It's been very choppy on the smaller time frame. I wouldn't be trading any of this. But Sam, you just opened a long on the daily. Yeah. I mean, I don't have a lot of faith in it, but I'm just playing probability. So my mind, my emotions, if I go by emotions, I think that's the worst trade I ever made. But you never know. Who knows? I don't trade on emotions. I trade like a bot. The bot, as a bot, there's some probability, there's some odds there. There's some odds. Let's move on to the bigger time frame here. Let's talk about total and look at the entire market cap in all of cryptocurrency. We will be going over it tomorrow yet again, but I just like to kind of double check and see what's happening for the total market cap. I mean, still on this parabolic trajectory, right? I mean, look at it. Like, if you look at the bigger picture, like, what's wrong with that? Nothing, right? As long as it stays above $3.46 trillion, like, that's a healthy market. It starts to break down. I mean, you basically have to break 2.57, I feel like, to really start a nasty downtrend. So, like, the only thing that I'm seeing is, like, sideways price action till May or April, and then it's kind of crazy, right? Like, it could go sideways. And where's all the money going to come from? Feels like it has to come from the gold market. It's like gold just ripping again to the upside. So we're a little stagnant. This monthly candle closes like this. You'd have to say we're either making a head or sideways price action. Sideways is our best. But man, it doesn't look amazing. I have to be honest. It does not look amazing at all. Sideways price action for total. But again, I'll stay by, okay, you're still above this big resistance. That is now support. 3.47, and even how these candles are staying tight at 3.7. But wow, we need like a couple more months to see what's going to happen. The way this candle ended up is, it's going to close very, to me, that's an indecision doji, almost like a, Almost a star. So total looks okay. It's not the most bearish thing in the world, but it's also not the most bullish. The daily looks... Some people are like, oh, it's a cylinder. It's a Livermore cylinder. I've been hearing some of this lately, but I guess, I don't know. Cylinders are usually a little bigger, a little more prominent, and they're a lot wider. Basically, you'd be doing something like this. Usually they're a little more like that. You know, I guess, I mean, there's a chance that is a cylinder. They call it a Livermore cylinder, right? I mean, it's such chop. It's ridiculous. You got to really raise the bar there and just see it for what it is. That's choppy sauce. Bearish divergence, you know. Almost feel like we got to like crash back, hit the daily, come, you know. Or do you just like out of nowhere rip, you know? So it doesn't, from what I've seen in the progressions that I've watched in my lifetime, it almost looks like that we have to have some fall in altcoins again, you know? It just, take a look at tether dominance, which we didn't want to see stay above a key level. It looks like it got back above a 200 moving average, right? On that daily. And we had to keep a close eye on this too as well. And you can see right now, yeah, I mean, it's above the 200 now and flagging out. You got to take that into consideration. You know, that would have to now fall back below and dump. And it looks like it's not going to. So that, to me, you know, that tells me a warning sign that Bitcoin could take a nasty dump. Looked like someone took a massive short out today too. Trump's talking today at 3 p.m., I believe. So we'll see whatever he says about China. It's just going to, you know what I mean? It's like, it's crazy, right? How they get able to swing this market by the whim. So you want this to double top, make an M, and just head right back inside here. Bitcoin pumps out of nowhere. But if this starts to go sideways and build, I mean, yikes, right? That's exactly what we didn't want to happen. I didn't want to see this break above the 200 moving average. That tells me that we have a little bit of a warning sign here that we could see a nasty drop. That you don't want to be over positioned in altcoins at the present moment. Like, it tells you that you want, you know, a little bit, you might want to be positioned in tether. That's when dominance is strong. And I'm just, you know, I have yet to go full force back into the market since I've, you know what I mean? Look at this. Had a perfect right shoulder. It needed to make no way. It slumped down. Yeah, to me, I mean, I made a very small long, tiny long. It was, you know, I'm usually, you know, 100, 200,000, 300,000. That was an $11,000 position. Tiny. And I made it tiny, you know, because if or when, but I didn't have a lot of faith in it. Looks like we're going to come down and test this 109.8 area once again. And look, I mean, that's a head and shoulder pattern now. You see it? Kind of like shoulder, head, right shoulder. I told you I would not open up a serious long unless we got above 11,006, unless we get above the 15-minute 200 moving average. I'll say it over and over again. And now look, it looks like the descending triangle is starting to dump pretty hard. Look at the 15-minute. And like there was the way, the dig out was there. The 11-minute, you know, 1 minute had the inverted, had the cup and handle. There was a chance there. And I was just drawing the way out. The way out was possible. They've done this multiple times and they tested this key level. This is now, look, lower than all these candles now. A 15-minute candle has not closed below this level since the 11th on Saturday. You see? I don't see how this thing doesn't dump somewhere down to 105.8. At least test this 109 area. Yet again, BOOKMAP says a big dump is coming. I love to counter trade my own TA, right? It's like, you never know. I have no idea what's going to happen. You see? But the probabilities tell me more dump. That's a descending triangle. They dump 90% of the time. You know? Like even Master Friend's always like, there's the Sammy descender. That thing's gonna dump, right? But it's crazy. Look, they dumped us here, wicked it back up. They dumped it here. They dumped it here. They dumped it here. Dump, 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 dump. Every dump got taken up by the 109.680, 109.7. This will be the real one, possibly. And again, look, you cannot get back up. You got to get the 5 minute above the 200 with the 21 and make a flag. Then you get to the 7, then you get to the 10, then the 15 minute. Rejection by the 200 moving average at 8 in the morning. That was it. It's all about the 200. See how we couldn't get above the 200 on the 15-minute time frame? And I mean, look, it's been telling us no the whole time. It's been the gatekeeper. The 200 moving average is plays such a role in almost in every asset. Someone who's pulling the strings is moving that thing around left and right. It looks like we're going to go right down to the daily 200 moving average. To me, that is going to be a magnet for price action. Like, it loves to go right down there. We might wick to it and bounce up. That might be the liquidation, but it definitely looks like we're going lower. Shout out to Alex Me. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. And look at the balls in the jar. A little bit of a bounce there. Shout out to everyone that wants to learn what I learn and know what I know. You can jump onto the class, hit the QR code, Life or Vision Trading Course, $150. Jump on the last Saturday of every single month. And amazing, look at us bounce again off this liquidity zone. This is insane. Look at this. It's like He-Man power here. The Bears just can't seem to crush 110 every single time. So look, I got this insane short long open here with a stop below the 200. What if I end up winning the long? We don't know. Only time will tell. No clue for sure what's going to happen. Fake out before the pump, baby. Let's go. Is today the day for what, Sammy? I just got here. Shout out to Tony. Silver saved my portfolio this year. God bless you, man. Slow bleed of denial. I don't know what's going to happen, honestly. It could or couldn't be. We'll see what happens here, man. I'm attempting to take a legendary long. Off to my daily stand-up. Hope to be back. If not, love to all hanging out here. God bless you. Hope everything's going well. The Moon Boy's running out. Wait for it to get closer to the 200. The bull's got a hold of my hair. Yo, looking good just for a moment. Funny. Oh, man, it's treachery out here. We just looked at the tether dominance. And despite that little trade, I am tethered up on my bigger account. I have to be honest with you. I'm tethered up. I don't need to catch the bottom like everybody else and be a hero. I really don't. I just need to make sure I don't get wrecked. That's the most important thing for me now. I have enough capital. I don't need to lose it. You know, if I'm careless, I can lose a lot of capital very fast. I have to be very careful with it. I have to curate it. I have to be loving. Exactly. We need to go lower to fake the Moon Boys out again, says Nick O'Neese. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. You've seen the rest of your super chats. I sent one. I'm unable to. Let me see. My team could take a picture of them and DM them to me. That would be kind of cool. I can't see them. Like it's coming in like this, you see? I can see like the last one. I can see this one here. I don't know if I can click to see them all though. I got the live chat. Yeah, anyway. So look, there's some bullish divvy there on the 7-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame. Crazy how this area is like stone. Hodl Sammy. Get out the short after the lifer chickened me out. Really? You guys are funny, man. Don't do anything that I do. Please, man. Please. My subconscious mind is running this show. I have no idea what's happening. I'm just letting my subconscious mind make decisions because we fed it so much information over time. That's all. I always wait till the 60 resets of the one. It's at the bottom of every handle. I like it. God bless you. That's a good move. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to Quarter Crawler. Shout out to Scottish Crypto in the house. The man is always looking for the hottest coins in the game, man. You are a trencher, man. You never stop. God bless you, bro. If anyone's going to win big, it's going to be you. You are always searching for the hotness. This one looks, I don't know what this one USDT is. It's on BNB, one USDT. Just looks more bullish than most. Palu. I have no idea what Palu is. Seems to kind of attempting to bottom there at 0.2. 4 is getting tight. You see that? Anyway, I just keep looking at these because something's brewing with the whole BNB ecosystem for sure. And, you also have some, it's getting a lot of publicity and attention. Constant spaces almost every other day. I've been seeing them. I was a part of one this morning too. Just something happened. I was given speaker, but I wasn't able to talk. I don't know why, what happened there. So, Sam the man, Yee, God bless you, brother. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate everybody for being here and sharing your most precious assets, and that is your time. We appreciate you and we love you, right? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Shout out to all the people out here constantly pushing and always being here. Consistency is key every single time, my friends. Every single time. It's funny, man. What is going on? Boom, boom, boom. Market is wild. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's banging on this 109.9 area. I mean, it's bearish. You gotta stay bearish. The bot has bought and is waiting for us to get a bounce. The bot's saying it bought the bottom and it's waiting for the bounce. Right there, 111,800, just waiting, but we'll see. You know what I mean? Nothing is guaranteed in this game, man. That's what I've learned. Nothing. Every time I think something can't happen, it can. I stopped telling myself what was going to happen for sure and started just letting the market do its thing, man. Look, if it defines a strong bullish DV like that, then it's like you just don't have a lot of strength in the market. When bullish divergence gives you nothing, right? I'm looking at a new coin, WBAI, for the BNB ecosystem. Thank you. WBAI. Whitebridge. Is that the Whitebridge network? Just came out. Brand new at 5 cents. I like to look at it here too on Deck Screener. Whitebridge, is this it? $60 million market cap? That's a healthy market cap, at least to start off with looking. But it's been sold off hard. You see that? It's in the red right now, big time. I don't know. I'd have to watch it, know more about it, do a deep dive on it. AI agents for people, data intelligence, DeepIn, incubated by ChainBT Labs, accelerated by BNB. It's everywhere. Yes and no. AI agents are A lot of them are they basically immaculated Telegram bots for whatever reason. I'm not saying that's the case with that, but usually if you deep dive, you'll find out it is. Sad to say, they call it an AI agent. It's a Telegram bot, right? I mean, it's just like, oh. I'm like, this is not new tech. This is the old tech rewrapped as an AI agent. What are you talking to me about? I've seen that so many times. All they do is wrap a tech and make it sound good on the website. And you'll read the website. Everything will look awesome. And you're like, this is great. And again, that's okay. You can get away with that in a really good bull market. Bitcoin banging. Look how many times it's tested this level now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 1099. It just like keeps dipping into this liquidity zone. And again, when the fear is this high, I have to tell you, in an industry this big, I feel like there are a lot of buyers that are going to flock in. There's just too many people like me that are going to take advantage of these low prices for BTC. And a demo short, so we will see who wins. Hey, anything is possible. God bless you, brother. I'm just trading probability based on the daily 200 moving average. I don't know what's going to happen. No clue. None at all. Seems to be digging in for another a bullish divvy here. Like it's attempting a strong bullish divergence on this time frame. 5-minute battling this big green area bubble that I've had drawn beforehand. And you'd think the short would have pummeled us by now. What, so many. Why did we dump last night? Why did we dump here? Dump here, dump here. Send it. And something is just, there's a whale absorbing price action. It's Michael Saylor sitting there on the other side, just like eating as much BTC as he can. Maybe there's a Japanese whale. Maybe there's a Chinese whale. Something is going on out here. All right. All it takes is BlackRock to sell again. Somebody says, ooh, I like that. When I hear that, I get bullish. When I hear people getting bearish in the chat, I get bullish. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at this. All it takes is BlackRock to sell again. That makes me want to long. Bitcoin at 109 is low price. Sounds amazing. 4 years ago, we dreamed of this price action. People are fearful. Crazy. Gold pumps. LOL. Price not high enough for Sailor. Can you check BNB? It'll eventually follow Bitcoin. I really appreciate your perspective. No, I mean, we've been looking at BNB. And, and the ecosystem is strong. Cake is strong. I don't mean, that looks like, that looks kind of bearish though. See, like, I see it inside of this, we're watching these flags. BNB is doing this, Giggle. It's all like, you're just begging for this higher low here. Break up, consolidate. This is where I'd be looking to get in. Otherwise, it could collapse and we don't have to get in. That's why I love to wait for this consolidative move in the third 3 quarters into the pattern. And we're just waiting to see if BNB gets the bounce. I mean, you could be a legend and buy right here off the 21. I'm sick of doing that stuff. I've done it for years. I've won, I've lost. I now just wait for the better, lower risk area, and I put more in at lower risk instead of putting, less in at higher risk. You see what I'm saying? Like, stay faithful. God bless you. Today is the day, Sammy. Looking for a bounce off support right now. Oof. They're really attempting to extend this divergence. That's why I trade the daily time frames and the 4 hour on daily. It's just too treachery to me on the small time frames right now. And look at the 1097. We haven't seen that yet. They're getting real dirty with it. They really want to raise the fear, right? Bring that fear. Let's go to 20, baby. What are you waiting for? Let's get it going, right? Wow, look at that. We could be seconds away from just a nasty flush. Just, here it comes. Look at that. I mean, already dropped 1,000 there quickly. It was just 1010.3. Ooh. There they are. They're getting closer to this big red blob at 108. It's like, why not? Now even stronger bullish divergence, which is crazy, right? Now they have the lowest 7-minute candle since we haven't been this low since right around here. The 11, since the 11th, since 5 days ago with the dump. And now they're really pushing it. Getting more and more oversold on the 5. Or sorry, we're on the 5-minute. Keep thinking I'm on the 7. I'm on the 5-minute time frame. Wow. BOOKMAP is flipping out right now. You got liquidity up here too. It's not like horribly bare, but dang, it's just, it overrides you there at the 105. It's really sticking out. Help me. If you believe you're capable and deserving of a certain outcome, you're more likely to seek out and act on opportunities to achieve it. 100%. 100%. Shout out to the people here. God bless you. I sold my bags last week for whatever profits I had. Hey, God bless you. That might have been the best thing you ever did, right? Who knows? I am not a financial advisor, but God bless you. You do whatever you had to do, right? There it goes. It's about to pierce through. I mean, you can't keep hitting the same level. As I told you, I would not open up a serious long unless you got above 11,600. To me, you're bearish unless you get above it. Why let a mill of alts go to zero instead of using it for long-term Bitcoin mines? Why buy alts at all? Could just trade them all at the right time. I mean, it's up to you. It just because it's how I've been trading my whole life. It's like how I got into Bitcoin. Bitcoin was a speculative asset too for me. You know what I mean? So to me, it's just kind of how I got here. So I can't change that. It's just part of my, it's, you know, like I'm a warrior that goes in on the front line. I can get gutted, but I can also live with the glory. So like, and I'm willing, you know, it is what it is. Just how I'm, it's how I'm programmed. Right? It's how I'm just built different, man. Yeah. And trust me, because I have enough to back me up on the other side as well. So you could only imagine. So just, you know, I'm low risk. So if you can think about that, you can only do the math, right? So got to dig out of this. It's your last chance here. Otherwise, you make a bear flag. I mean, you keep getting pulled away from the 21, extended from the 200. Now you have major bullish div there. You would expect a bounce. Again, though, each time it hasn't been that strong, so. Oh my God, everyone knows that went away. He has to hold. Did anyone see Adam go to zero? I know, that's crazy. It went to like 0.1 or something, yeah. Got a golden ball for ETH 1 minute, but no other thing to back that up. I don't know what that means, but God bless you, bro. Hope it works for you. So 5-minute candle just closed absolutely treacherous. Hey, you would only assume more downside, right? As you cross this level and start the momentum. And then once you cross there, yeah, you're headed down to 105.5. You're a little, you know, there's some levels in between. You can see on the daily, you got right there, 108.2. See it right here? I'm going to put a line right there, Alt-J it for the ray. You can see there's some, you know, there's some areas there, but that's your next lot level, right? And then you go to the daily 200 moving average, right? So boom, who knows, man? I still see a 1 hour bullish div on ETH. Yeah. Look at that nasty dump on the 1 hour. And that's the, you know, it was a descending triangle, right? Usually see when we dump though, bullish divs all the way down to 102 last Friday, right? No mercy on the longs. Look, 108 just flashed, 108.9. And there she blows all the way down. And BOOKMAP was just almost never wrong. And it's funny, my TA said we were dumping. I know I took a stupid long, but you don't have to trade what I trade. My TA said this thing was dumping. My TA said do not open up a massive long unless you get above 11.6. Unless you get above the 15-minute 200 moving average. It said everything, it's bearish. You know when you're below multiple 200 moving averages, you are bearish. You are the bear trash. Bear. I lost 187 bucks. Oh, my stop loss is way below the 200 moving average, though. Interesting. Stop loss should have been below the 200. I don't know. I guess I messed up. I lost 187 there. Just so you know. Okay. This looks bearish to me. Dump City. And we had you at the 5. You know, we were looking for the divergence. We didn't get it. It's sloppy divergence, man. Look at that. Said no way. You get nothing. Crazy, just like the top, the bottom will come at one point though, and they will flatten the shorts. When? Only time will tell. This says 105 is coming now. Look at it. And we've been getting our red every time. finally getting a little red that came in, then it disappeared. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. Now we got 108, 107.7, and then to 105. Send it. Continue to dump it. On the 5 now, you're going to look for some type of bear flag, you see? Just like when we're pumping, it's the same idea. Look for the 21 to come into price action. Touch the flag and look for that flag to continue. See? And then we will dump down to 106.5 there and then, hopefully complete this and get this over with. Enough is enough. Get this dump going. So, yeah, I mean, this is Bear City, bro. I'm upside down right now. Yes, I'd watch the 5-minute for a bear flag. At this point, that's what to me, that's the most likely. Unless it gives you some amazing inverted head and shoulder. But we've been asking for this stuff the whole time. We haven't been getting it, so. I told you to be bearish at the beginning of the stream, even though went on a wacky long. So there you have it. Remember, I made a lot of money in Singapore in the last few days, even on Sunday. So I don't have to sit there and throw money at the market right now. I could just kind of chill. No reason to be greedy. Look at that. Dump City. The descending triangle dumps every single time. You can see it drawn there. I'll pull away this. You can see the white. That thing it's a 90% accurate dumper. And look, I could tell, and then you lost the 200 on the 15. Again, I'd be looking for a bear flag and lower lows down to 106.5 to complete this dump. End the cycle. We can finally call the bottom. So look, whoever longed it, I think a bunch of people longed earlier today. They got absolutely obliterated. And it didn't matter what you long. I mean, I told people, I would not touch an altcoin right now. I would say I'm heavy. The bigger part of my portfolio is heavy in Tether. Sorry to say. 108, 109. Now you lost a digit there, right? Unbelievable. 28 on the Fear and Greed Index. We could get 20 now later on today when that updates again. And now the old 109 area that we told you was such a battle there on the bigger time frames. Now they're going to, attempt to the battle is on here, 109. I keep seeing them just kind of dip into liquidity, create fear. Hang out, dip into liquidity, create fear. Hang out, and I'm watching the pattern now. And I've seen it. I'm starting to pick up on the pattern. And it's been the same look. Dip in, create some fear. Dip in, create some fear. Dip in, create some fear. Dip in. And keep giving people the idea that it's a bottom. It's a bottom. It's a bottom. You know what I'm saying? Play that game. Technically, my strategy did not, I think I did something stupid. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention, which I apologize. The stop loss should be there, below there at 106.812. I think I did 108.612. I think I did some type of stupid. Yeah. I think I did something dumb. And I switched the 6 and the 8. If you go back and look at it, because that shouldn't have been hit. Technically, that's still an open, that's a possible open move there. You see? You'd get back all the way to 125, you could say. Can you do the separated? Yeah, so this could sit by itself, this trade, you see. And then the stop would be 106.812. And make it just tiny, not even for, Yeah, 2, just, let that sit for days and not even think about it. Where's the liquidation? 107.315. See, that's why. Hold up. Whatever, I wasted fee of $5. I must be so high. Why am I so high on the level? See, if your liquidation is above your stop, then it's the trade's not worth it. Right? 106.812. Let's see here. It's right above, but it's good enough, you know, but not amazing. The idea is that you'll hold the daily 200, right? And so like that's just like, again, it's just like a like whatever, right? The most I can lose there is like 1 in 20 or something, 130, right? And you see if you can make a 12x trade, right? Again, this is a very low risk, non-greedy trade. Amen, right? And the odds are very low that we hit it. It's kind of more like a hedge, like, you know, it's there in case. And then you kind of, you know, you watch the rest of this. I mean, that trade really does nothing for me, but kind of what it does is it helps me experience the probability of what I'm always testing. You know, in the 20 years from now, I can use this data. It's all about all the trades that I've taken in my life. They all accumulate inside the brain, and they make me make decisions. They help me make decisions later on. So I'll remember, remember that time I took that trade, you know? It definitely looks more bearish right now. It looks like they're about to melt us. I mean, now the momentum's to the downside. Wait for the bear flag and the dumps. Like, Sam, why don't you trade the bear flags? I can't explain it. Every time I trade a short, like something weird happens to me. And my mom's like, dude, just trade your model. Stay disciplined. So it's almost like I want to trade short, but my discipline tells me don't do it. Don't do it. Just wait for the right time. When the market shifts and I'm like really sure we're in a bear market, which we'll know by being below the daily 200, the things will start to shift. You'll see. I will then probably enter more shorts. But right now, I don't know. I can't explain it. You know, whether I have intuition or my mind just stuck on it, I don't know what's going on, but I don't like to short as much anymore. We'll see, though. This is Bear City, man. Well, my system did tell me is do not go on a hard long unless you get above 11.6, and we did not do that. There was no reason to go on a hard long. $108,650. I see a melt. I mean, I hate to keep saying it, but it looks like 105 is on the way. All right. It just looks like we're about to get melted. Blast right through 108, 107.7, just. And again, there was some massive short open too on Twitter again. It's like they know something. Remember, I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. Repeat after me. You know nothing. Everyone's like, oh, I know what's going to happen. They're going to do this, then they're going to do that. You have no clue what they're going to do. Just play probabilities when you're below the 200 and you start flagging down and you miss out on the divergence. I mean, you got to start taking it for what it is. You can't force bearishness on bullishness. You can't force bullishness on bearishness. You got to read the trend. The trend is your friend. Below the 200 is a bearish trend. Above the 200 is a bullish trend. It's that simple. That's how it works. 108,600. Looks like more downside is coming for Bitcoin. Nasty, nasty days. No happy days. Nasty days, right? 108,550. And you can see the numbers just bubbling down here on BOOKMAP. Bitcoin struggling to hold any type of zone for the bulls. The bulls don't care. And funny, whenever we dump, we get so many people. Shout out to the 1,700 beautiful souls here on the live watching this nasty Bitcoin dump. And Bitcoin told us what was happening. Today I woke up bearish. It doesn't look good to me. So we have one chance to get above that flag. That flag dumped on us, and then the rest was just another choppy day. Chop, 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 chop. And Dump City, man, what a good day for the Bears yet again. Makes sense. But people shorted here, they got smashed. Then the dump. That's what they kind of keep doing. I'd look for this to bear flag on the 5. I'd look for the 21 to connect, just like we do on the other way. And the battle at 108.5 will continue. People will battle these areas. It's, yeah. Again, I'm not a huge fan when Bitcoin dumps horribly, but I like opportunity. There's money to be made either way, no matter what happens. I got cash on the sidelines. I'll wait for a better opportunity. The key is just to take your opportunities when you see them. You don't have to force anybody else's trade strategy. You don't have to do what other people are doing. You don't have to short because the whole world's shorting. You don't have to short when the market dumps. You trade your stuff, your signal, your educational style, whatever you figured out for yourself, you trade that. You know, I trade less, I trade small, I wait. If we stay above the 200 daily, there's still a chance this plays out. Right, I risk so much small here that it's not bothering me emotionally. There's no emotions here. It's an $8,000 trade. I could lose $187, right? It's no emotions. I got $20K in the account. We'll make it through, you know. BNB gonna dump. Everything's gonna dump when Bitcoin dumps. You don't want to trade anything. All you want to do is watch Bitcoin and, you know, basically short the entire market when Bitcoin looks bearish like this. And there's a lot of people in denial. There are some people that believe it's the beginning of the bear market. It could be. I have to be honest. There's a chance. You have to believe that's possible. I don't know if it's possible, but 100%, but it is. There's a chance. All right. We never know for sure. And team, I don't know if anyone else could take a shot at the super chats for me. I can't see them all. I checked the DMs from Sean. I don't know if anyone could somehow batch them up and grab them. It would be appreciative. I'm unable to see them today for whatever reason. Like I can see them when they come in, but that's it. And then I have to search for them. Someone said Fed is looking like a meme coin. Yeah, 100%. Every coin's looking like a meme coin. The crazy thing about this market is like, maybe they were, they did so much crazy stuff up and down recently that you just don't know. Thank you so much, Sean. All right, so we got the super chats in. So we're grateful for your wisdom from Dat Blues guy. Thank you. Bitcoin head and shoulders, but it looks like there's a bull flag. What do you think? Bitcoin dominance dump, ETH pump? No, definitely not. Lagarde, I don't see that at all. Everything's going to dump with Bitcoin. Yeah, I know you like that. Is the bull run over? Live, laugh, rough. I don't know what's happening. Alt season last cycle started 17 October. We don't see alt pump by mid-November. This cycle is done for alts. Trump announcement in 4 hours. New China news. I just believe that we don't know what's going to happen in Scottish crypto. It could be a new thing that we've never seen. We could start pumping in May. We could start pumping, you never know. The charts will start to show you. You'll stay above moving averages. You will consolidate. All right now, we saw a dump coming, and it's continuing to dump. Love you, Sam. Bitcoin hanging above the 200 EMA on the daily. Nope, not no more probably, right? Or barely. Looking at a new coin, WBAI. Yep. Meditate daily. What's the difference between EMA and NMA? EMA puts more weight on the last 6, 7, or 7 days. A simple moving average just does the days that it has. 21 divided by 21. The EMA puts more days on the last 18 to 17. It exponentially adds more weight to them, which I think can be facetious. And its calculations can be skewed. Can you check BNB? Will it eventually fall? We did check BNB from Crypto Doc. So we did hit all the super chats. And shout out to Crypto Doc. Shout out to Underground Crypto, Meditate Daily, Scottish Crypto, Artie, Meditate Daily again, and everybody here. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. And I do have all of the super chats here in my hand. God bless you, Lakochi. Thank you for doing that. We appreciate you so much. So yeah, I would flag out this and suggest that we go lower down to 106 and do $105,000. Bitcoin lost 109, which is so key. 105 is the next area. Just likely what's happening, everybody. I'm sorry. Just the facts. Okay? And when certain people out there call the bottom, it's likely it's liquidation time. It seems to be that every single time. So be careful of crypto, Twitter, crypto X, however you want to call it. It's a treacherous place. You open it up, everyone's bullish on this, bullish on that, and it turns into absolute treachery. Remember, if I'm out here calling bearishness for Bitcoin, it means the whole market looks bearish. It seems like 99% of coins are going to dump. So it's a warning for everything to be. And remember, like a week ago, right before the crash, when I said I'm tethering up, I have not gone hard into any coin since then. Besides some leverage trades here and there and a little bit of scalps, I've been off the market. So I can't wait to be able to swing trade and all. I take my chance. Just this weekend, I got a chance to swing trade. I swing traded Giggle. I nailed it. I got out. I mean, it was like, wow, I live for those moments. It's what I'm great at. It's what I love to make money on spot swing trading because I don't get that manipulation of the leverage, and it's perfect for me. It's just what I've been doing for a long, long time. But I need the market to be extra frothy to do that, and it's just, Check Humanity Coin, H, it's pumping, but most certainly it will dump. Interesting. All good. Don't get mad and don't get sad. Don't get glad. Exactly. Yeah, you just got to be open-minded that you're in. Yeah, you're looking to see what else this market can add to your life, but you got to have a stable life on top of the market, right? Yeah. Saturday, the dust will settle. Can you change the elevator music, please? No, I cannot. Sorry. It is what it is. Yeah. I just hope that once we hit 105, people don't get instantly too crazy on the longs. Else we dump again for sure. That's another thing. People keep longing too hard, creating exit liquidity for the next dump. So every time we go low, people, I have to long here with 100x. I have to long, and it just creates more and more stop losses. There's just too much down here. Look at this chunk. It's just this. And it's so funny. We show this all the time, and we talk about it, but nobody believes that it's going to happen. And then when it happens, they're like, damn. I could go live 100 days and show this and be right 90 times, and people will still doubt me on the 99th day. They'd be like, nah, we're going to pump. Right? Exactly. I'm an optimistic person. I mean, you can be optimistically bearish too, though, right? Look at this thing continuing to dump city. Like, show us a flag at least. Like, where is the consult? Look at that. That's just letting go from 110 all the way down to 108,000. What happens if we pass 200 MA on the daily? We go lower. We usually go to the 2-day 200 moving average, which is somewhere right there at 96. It will come up a little bit as we come down. It'll be somewhere at 99,000. But that would be your next stop. It would be your next stop. Right? The first attempt to make a green candle here. Well, we lost key support now. I don't, buy red, sell green. I should write a book. Hey. Meanwhile, gold making new highs. Gold continuing to rip. And we gave a gold trade earlier last night. Let's take a look at gold real fast just to see how she's doing. And yeah, she ripped out the flag to the upside. Still pumping. And I gave this gold trade yesterday because I said, hey, gold looks like it's going to rip. And it is. It's headed up to 4,300. And we've been calling gold. I mean, it's been pretty obvious. It's been in flags since this big flag here. We called this flag here on the daily and the 3-day chart, right, for gold. It's just how I trade. 21-day moving average in the flag. It's everyone can see how I trade, so it's pretty obvious. And then I saw the same thing here on the 1 hour. It was on the 21 in the flag. Just obvious stuff to me. And gold's up now, 4119 all the way to 4275. Gold, baby, gold. BTC, look for the bear flag now in continuation to the downside so we can scoop up. We gotta end this. We gotta get rid of all this red down here. We gotta shake out the weak hands. It's just what has to happen, friends. So a lot of people that long the wick right now and thought, you know what I mean, when the candle dumped last week, they just like chucked money in the market at a very high leverage and thought they could hang out. It's just not how it works. And there's too many people that did that. And it's likely going to create some exit liquidity. What I will tell you is the long that I made here is still intact as long as we stay above the daily 200 moving average. Look, it's only down $12. You're like, how is this guy so bearish telling us we're going to dump and then he's got a long open? Because I just play probabilities, man. I don't tell you what's going to happen. Understand? I found that I don't have to be right. I just have to take the right probability. Leverage was liquidated last week. This week is slow bleed, the best bleed. Ooh. Yeah, like a slow pump is better than a slow, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'd be watching this bear flag here on the 5-minute time frame for BTC. That's what I would be looking for. We're getting close when everybody's scared. The market's about to rocket ship. Everyone keeps saying that. I guess it's so easy to say whatever you want that comes to mind. I could go live and just say that too. Hey, everybody, when everyone's scared, we're going to rocket. Everything's on the way. I have no idea what's going to happen. We just lost a key support zone on the weekly. I mean, that's not good. You got to zoom out and look at the weekly. When you lose key supports in the weekly, you have to take it for what it is. That's bearish. It's not a good sign at all. If gold's pumping, I'm assuming monopoly money issued out. If you draw a line from the bottom at 55 and the bottom at 74, there's a lot of it watching. It's the bottom of a massive ascending triangle. It's at about 100K close to the weekly. I chase red candles like crazy on the long-term bullish trends by DCAing in. And that's all I can do. I do the same thing, man. I DCA into the lows for BTC. It looks like this is going to be the next DCA, this red zone at 106, 105.5. 105.5 has been a key support zone too as well. I'm expecting us to get into this nitty-gritty area here and scoop up that liquidity. All those stop losses that are waiting, that chucked money into the wick. Everyone who thought they could just long the market. I didn't believe it was time to long. I don't have tons of, I don't have a bunch of long positions. I have one little measly long position open. I don't need to be a big shot. I never had to be, never will be. I need to just not lose money all the time, and that's all that matters. Look at gold just deciding to rip ski. Long term, I believe in Bitcoin. You know that. I'm a Bitcoin perma bull at the end of the day. It's hard to make, and it's hard, you know. Look at this FUD. 70 million of Bitcoin just moved from U.S. government malls. Auction coming or secret reserve building. Interesting. That's quite ominous. And all it takes is one thing for Donald Trump to say too, a bullish move, and next thing you know, everything has changed. Fetch just completely collapsing, just like the rest of the market. Look at that thing down. Oh my gosh. Just absolutely getting wrecked. Altcoins are just in complete damage mode at this point. Most of them. Oh, look at that. Like, it's lower than it's been. It hasn't been this low since September of 2023. Like, that's crazy. It revisits 2-year lows. Unreal. I still think it's a great project with a good team, but dang, you don't hear much about them. No marketing. It's quiet. And most people are right now. No reason to market in this nasty altcoin season. CASP has been horrible. It was trending all over the place. Look at it dumping to the downside. Look at it just collapsing. These altcoins are just in trash mode. The last 6 days, they've gone lower than they've been. Oh my gosh. Look at this. I mean, holding altcoins is like basically a sadistic game. Years on years. Those were the highs. Those were the days. 2024, we haven't been back. So it'll be 2 years. It's kind of like a myth, like altcoin season. And I have to get people to realize that, like, maybe altcoin season never comes. See how I just, I'm going to swing trade whatever is possible. I'm learning that this is a different type of, before I got in on the lows. I waited for a few years. I got to sell the highs. I got on the lows. I waited for years. I sold the highs. 2022 came. We researched. We saw what was hot. We knew the projects. We found the narratives. Gaming, AI, right? Proof of work and, memes, all this other stuff. And then we got this high, and we were supposed to kind of move with Bitcoin, but then they came back down. And from 2022 to 24 was alt season. That was it. And now everyone's talking about this alt season. And now it's like, and so instead of like doing, I don't do this anymore. I stack capital now. And then I swing trade just like tiny moves here and there and get out. I keep what I committed to back in 23 and 2022 because that's what I did, but I don't have a lot of faith in it anymore. Right? This bear flag is likely to take you down. That's likely what's going to happen. I'm sorry to say. That is the most highly likely scenario today, that we go down to 106.3 and we take a bigger dump to the downside. All right? Sorry to be the bearer of bears news. We've basically been in an alt bear market for over a year, 100%. We've been in an alt bear market ever since Trump coin came out and drained every alt. That was it. Like, we've never revisited. That was like that was the complete, and that drained everything. People sold everything, and then not everyone made it. A lot of people lost money on the coin too. So like, it drained liquidity in every coin, made people go crazy. Sad to say, it was one of the worst things that I've ever seen. It was a black swan that we have never recovered from. And I'm not trying to hate on any administration. I'm just telling the truth, right? I was a voter. I'm just being, and I don't want to get into it. I don't want to I don't like bringing that up. But I just want to make it clear that that night, I'll never forget that night. People just, Solana hits $300. It looks like the whole market is frothy. It's like the president's behind us forever. I've never seen anything like this. It was like the bullish night ever. And it actually was exit liquidity. It was the drainage of all altcoins. It was like, it was ciphering. It was insane what happened. And you look back on that time, and that since then we've never recovered since then. Never. That's been it. That was it. That was it. Internet magic money. Yeah. Everything moves together. There's no reason anymore. Choose your coin and trade. Yeah. So again, I'm done with believing in these alts, hodl, have a community. All that stuff is to grab your liquidity, man. It's all, we got this coin because we believe. Get out of here, man. If you really believed, you would just start a charity of your own. You don't need a coin to start a charity. Everyone thinks, oh, I started this coin because, crypto can. Come on. People cloak their crypto projects in charity, man, when you dang well know it's for the fees, and they're going to give a little bit away, but they're just trying to find a way to extrapolate your wealth into their pocket. It's just what we see all the time. Without giving you any, it's okay to charge people for value and to sell something online. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you produce value for people. But if you produce no value at all, I just, you know what I mean? Where's the demand there? So, shout out to the $154 in chat revenue. Thank you so much. Yeah, I never shorted Bitcoin. How do you do this? I don't even get shorting. Can someone explain? Yeah, you short, you just flip it upside down. Right? So you would basically, I would go to the 5 minute. I would hit Alt I, right? I would draw a flag like so. I'd look for the 21 to touch. And I'd look for us to get to 106,454 possibly, right? And I'd look to enter when the 21 touches right around here. Bang. I'd go grab the short tool. I'd put it here. I'd drag it to the top. I'd drag this to where I want my stop, maybe somewhere in there or below the wick. It's a 2-to-1. It looks a little risky. And then I'd hit Alt I again and look at it. And I'd be like, all right, so I get in at 108.7. I put my stop somewhere above 109.7, and I look to take profits at 106.5, right? And you're going to look for this bear flag to play out to the downside, which to me looks the most likely, and then you got all that liquidity waiting for you right down there. So that's how you would short, and then you would hit the short button here. Your take profit would be down there at 106.812. And your stop loss would be up here at 109.872 or something, right? Ideally, right? I'm just, risk 300 for 600, risk, 2 for 5. It's a 2-to-1. I don't love the trade because I like a 3-to-1. When you have to bring the short, down somewhere there, which they might spike it up and dump, it's I'm very weary of shorting the market because they usually spike it and dump it, and I'd much rather just wait for the reversal. I'm just better at it, right? I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm weaker at. And I'm starting to use bigger money, so I don't want to use big money at things that I'm not, So that's kind of the truth. And you should know your weak points in trading and know your strong points. And I can work on them. It doesn't mean I can't short the market. I should, It's just weird, man. I feel like, I guess I have a fear of short. Every time I short, man, something weird happens. I'll get in right now and I feel like I just reverse it, but... And I should just go with the tech, I should go with the TA. I guess I have a little bit of my own, I'm still battling my own ups and downs in life. But I know how to make money long and reversing. And I've shorted so many times in my life too, which is weird. As I told you, once I started playing the model that I learned, it made it harder to short. When my model wasn't as efficient, and I used to short and long a lot more. It's weird. I got addicted to the same thing, and it makes it harder to short. I can't explain it. And again, you might look at me like, what a weirdo. Some people might understand. I don't know. And again, sometimes I don't even like saying this because I'm so vulnerable when I say this stuff, and people judge me, and they can think whatever they want about me. I had to learn that I can't care what people think about me to be me. If I cared what people think about me, I wouldn't be able to go live every day. It just wouldn't happen. I like the range chart, been finding success with it. Interesting. FMCC stock, Freddie Mac. Interesting. I mean, look at the dump there. Look, that thing wants to dump. They're flushing these longs, man. Once they hit or touch that daily 200 moving average, that's, it looks like we're definitely going there. I don't see how we don't touch it now. It's oh so close. Yeah, too late to short, too early to long. Yeah. I mean, if it looks bad, it probably is, vice versa. Too many bots, stop loss hunting. As long as people are shorting both ways, you can expect a similar play. Yeah? I mean, there she blows, though. It's like, I know we're going down, and I got a stupid, it's like so crazy. I mean, I know it's like the probabilities were short the whole time. We had a head and shoulder pattern here. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. We just broke the neckline of the head and shoulder. There's 107. There you go. Look at that thing just completely tumbling. Usually you make a flag, though. It's very rare you just go this far down. But hey, it is a descending triangle. Remember, the descender that all dumps 90% of the time all the way down to 106. And price action is just price action. 5 years from now, we'll be where we are, and we'll look back on this time and be like, well, there it was, All the Ubers tell you, I'm going to wait until this price is long. They tell you to long the tops. I never long the tops. I'll be honest with you, no. I got to wait. Like, look, I open up a long on a red candle and I still might lose. You see what I mean? Like, I'll go against the grain 100%. Like, this game is tough. You got to really, really be patient. The more patient, the better off. The less greedy, the better off. That's what I keep learning. Less trades, more wins. Smaller gains over time add up to bigger wins. Live or last time the video in the weekly saved us at a 70K, then there's still a chance that it could save us this time. We're down on sideways channels 90% of the time, 10%, yet everyone is always overly bullish. Yeah, exactly. For me, we're dealing with monthly support and resistance now that we talked about earlier today. That's No, you're one of the better ones, but some of these guys are turds. Thank you, Freedom Outdoors. I never know if I'm getting thrown in the comment, right? But thank you for excluding me. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I didn't even really see the time here. It's 12:21, but I'm just kind of stuck in the charts today. Watching a massive dump. So it is what it is. And, a lot of people flock to the channel during the dumps. So I'm here. Thank you for the likes. Can we get 1,000 likes? It would be awesome. We have 539. Over thousands of people came in and out of the stream since I've been live. We have 1,600 concurrent viewers. So one of the bigger streams. Hit that like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. Gotta love trading. Only take one person to... Yeah, exactly. Two weeks from now, we pumped already, and everyone will say 150K next. Hey, you never know what will happen. You never know. But right now, you're looking for the bear flag down to 106, and that's the most likely scenario here for BTC. Could you kindly check Hannah, somebody says. I don't know if I want to, honestly. Maybe in my own time and then I'll come back. Yeah. Funny. People were saying they're going to be out for years now. It's so crazy, right? Yeah, no, I gave gold trade this morning, or last night I gave the gold trade, and gold is continuing to do damage. Congrats to anyone that took the gold trade. I mean, you know, hey, I got to give the trading group something, you know what I mean? When I saw the whole market was garbage, I said, hey, here's a trade. Gold's still looking, you know what I mean? We don't have to, we just trade the obvious stuff. Everyone's looking for massive gains every day. If you just took a piece every day of something nice, that's all that would matter, right? But so you can see gold looking for more here at 826 last night. And it went up, came back down, went up, never hit the stop loss. You're in the money now. Congrats if you took the gold trade. And I didn't want to put a lot of trades out last night. I'm sure some people took the trade, some people didn't, right? That's the deal of having a trading group. Like, it's not everybody does the same thing every day. I've been waiting for the dump and I still miss. The only good little taste, mental capital and discipline really matters more than TA. Yeah, I just, you know, ooh, look at that, man. It just really rocketed to the upside there at 42,890 all-time highs for gold. It's crazy. Gold ripping as Bitcoin gets banged to the downside. It makes no sense, right? Everyone's always like, what? It really, like, you know, because Bitcoin's in its own little place. It's in its own little cycle. They're doing their own stuff to BTC. It's weird. I'll be honest, you know. My new call, 4,500 gold by January. Oh, yeah. Remember, Lifer? I would post alts all day. Yeah. I never post my trades anymore. 100%, man, because it's just not that time, bro. When it comes back, I mean, that's the thing. If the alts came back, all the old lifers would be back, and we have such a team of people, and we would just be like, I miss the old times, everyone. I really do. When alts were just rocking and everyone's making massive gains. I still see a lot of gains, but you have to be, you know, and I still see my vicious lev traders going hard, but like, it's a different type of market. We've had to change the trading style. We've had to switch a lot of things up. Right? PPL selling Bitcoin for gold. I don't know. I don't think so, but some people will. Yeah. Bitcoin pumps when gold calms down. I mean, it does tend to front run. You know, gold tends to front run Bitcoin, so we could see that. Yeah. With the Lifer rocket, they're funny, man. I love you, brother. I was there during the FDM days last season. Still remember that epic trade. Oh wow, the Phantom. Oh yeah. Wow, you remember that? So we have people that have been with me for a long time, and they know who I am and what we've done. I forget that a lot of people, you know, a lot of new people, they don't know the Lifer. They don't know how much I've already done before. Even, you know, it's like I still got to prove myself every day to the new people here, right? And show them I can do this. I can trade. I got skills. This channel's about my, you know, pushing me every day too to see how high I can take it, how hard I can take it. Why don't we just do a 24-hour stream? Let's go all the way to tomorrow, right? I'm feeling calm, cool, and collected. No reason why we can't keep pushing. Sam really is the most dedicated man in the space. You have to put in your 10,000 hours to master anything, 100%. Yeah. And look, I'm down $74. What, you know what I mean? Even me, I'm not. All we need to do is just to wick back up. Eventually, there's going to be a bottom, right? Do they clean out the wick here? They may. So I'm sticking to the fact that this will bear flag down to 106. That's the call. You got the juice. You got a family, Sammy. Exit strategies in motion. I got Sammy in the background in 2022. I started watching 2021. Unbelievable. I have a long setup at 106.7. Sammy, bear market incoming. It's possible. It's over. Psychonomy is over by now. Sell everything, Lifer. These days, you want to buy QQQ with scares like these and get good dividends. Interesting. I'm not teasing for sure the thing is doing anything significant until the daily 939 more reset. My humble opinion. 1108 would be roughly 20% correction, which would set up for the upcoming ETFs. You don't have to prove anyone. The most important people you are, your family, know who you really are and worth. God bless you. Thank you. It's actually over. 4-year cycle is dead. Somebody says Trump is making a huge announcement at 3 p.m. Everybody says that. I love everybody is calling a bear market. It's usually a good thing, right? Bear, you know, I mean, that's what we want. I mean, when the fear's at 28 and 20, we've bounced almost every single time. You know? So, it is what it is, folks. It is what it is. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. All cycles break like your washing machine. Spoons make me fat lifer. I don't know what that means, but God bless you. Yeah, it's the spoon's fault. It's not my fault. It's the spoon. The spoon keeps putting ice cream on itself. You know. Today is our weekly screen share. Today, everyone, we will do it at 8 o'clock from about 8 to 9:15. We will get it done. Bang, bang, bang. Bear market may just be here now with that rising wedge retest. Momentum on the indicators to the downside. Bearish divvy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going sluicing this winter. I don't know what that means. Good luck, man. Look, finally the little bounce. Is this the bottom? There's going to be a daily bottom at one point. I firmly believe we're making a bear flag here to the downside. That's what's likely going to happen. Anyway, I got to look for my wife like you've streamed enough look and it's time to get off. I have no idea how I went to 12:29. It must be the coffee. Extra cup of coffee keeps you going in the morning. Hey. So that's probably what happened. Sam, what's your formula for placing Fibonacci's? Just up, down, left or right, depending on, left to right and using the right support zones. Watch my Fibonacci masterclass. Wow, look at this. Out of nowhere, we got a big super chat from Bitcoin BTC Bill. He says, Bitcoin still goes to 160K this year. Have a great day, Sammy. People are overall bullish on BTC still. If you're new, stick it out with the lifer. You don't know how, but it will change your life. It really will. You're going to go through a metamorphosis that you never thought. Extra long today. We were blessed. Hit that like button. Yep. Wow, look at this guy. I never would have got this super chat. And look what happened. You get rewarded for pushing it. Wow, look at Bitcoin just getting like nasty. Like straight down. Straight down. Like not even consolidating first. Just absolute blood. Just absolute bloodbath. Thanks for the extra time, Sammy. Shout out to the wife that treats you great. Thank you. She's amazing. Best wife in the game. Relax and watch the charts with your loved ones. Bitcoin uses the liquidity to fuel them up. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here, sweetie. Come here, baby. Come here, baby. Come here. All right, everybody, I got to jump on out of here. I got a baby to take care of. She wants her dada. Most beautiful thing in the whole world. My little sweetie. Talk. Can you say crypto? Crypto. Crypto. Say crypto, daddy. Say daddy. Sammy, daddy. Daddy. bottles. Oh. She's that. What did she say? She shat. She shat. I know. All right, everybody. I got to jump on out of here. Stream went way too long today. Oh, she's on me now. She's pulling. Oh, whoa. I don't want to give her one that, like. All right, everybody. I would still assume we're going to take a move down, but we got to flag out first. It's not like you just dump straight down. I mean, it happens, but it is a descending triangle. But I'd be looking for this level here somewhere at 105,879. All right. Thank you so much for the super chats. Thank you for everyone jumping on in. I see more downside for Bitcoin, and so does BOOKMAP. I would not be going crazy. I got a little tiny long in case we bounce off the daily 200. That's it. I'm not doing anything crazy just yet. If I go crazy, my trading group will know. If I see a big fat long and I take it, you guys will know. But right now, that's just not the case. All right. I'm not going Singapore hard. I'm going to wait my turn until I see something change. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the super chats. They were amazing. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for all of the chat. Amazing people. I see so many people here too. Ashley Redford, Moses Alexander Cruz, Hopium Copium, Lars Johnson. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. We need as many people to subscribe to the Crypto Lifer as possible. We just hit 100,000 subscribers, and we'd like to go all the way to 250,000, but we can't do it without each and every one of you. So thank you so much. If you want to know more about me, go to CryptoLifer.com. CryptoLifer.com. Hit the subscribe button. You can join the Discord. You can read about me, hit about me. You can find out links and jump on in, read about my story, find out who I am at CryptoLifer.com. Everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. And I thank you. I'll just show you the beautiful site. Go to CryptoLifer.com, hit subscribe, all that fun stuff. Bitcoin Bill, have a blessed day, Sam. Thank you again. And you throw another $50 super chat at me. Wow, you threw $150, man. That's very blessed. Always somebody nice out there hooking me up. Almost every single time I go live. I don't know where these people come from, but they're awesome. Thank you so much, brother. That's very nice of you. That will come back to you tenfold. You don't have to give, but you did. And I love, people see that. People see how much I get blessed by going live every day. And I think it really, it instills the fact that they should push themselves too, to do something different with their life. I could have been in the same cubicle I always was. I could have sat there and done, but I decided to do something different with my life. And here I am in front of these screens. And ow! You bit me. Why'd you bite me? My wife just bit the back of my leg to make it look like it was the baby. This is true story stuff going on here. Like, literally, she bit my leg, man. Like, this is insane. You see what she did, baby? I know my baby would never bite her daddy. All right, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. I would flag out the 5-minute time frame. Again, it's all fun and games, but we stick to the TA. I would flag out the 5-minute. Watch how that 21 comes into action, and it does look like we're going lower. Be careful. I love you. Have a wonderful day. May God bless each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being supportive and being amazing. God bless the Crypto Lifers. I'll see you on the next live stream.